Hello, look here. This week I'm gonna show you the guts of the Jim Dunlop Rotovibe pedal. Okay, it's open. So I'm gonna try to explain in a simple way how this pedal works. The Rotovibe is a 4-stage optical phaser. It has a chorus mode and a vibrato mode. The chorus mode is the 4-stage phaser, and the vibrato mode is the same phaser with 3 of the stages disabled. So the main components of the Rotovibe are 4 LEDs and 4 light variable resistors. The resistors work as sensors for the LED lightings. So what does a phaser do? It takes a copy of your dry signal and it shifts that copy and mixes it with the dry signal at the end of the circuit, but not like a delay pedal. The delay pedal has a much larger amount of delay time, and it's a fixed delay time. So the phaser does something similar to a person at the delay pedal, changing the delay time knob all the time to the right and to the left. So here are the 2 wavefronts, the dry signal and the copied signal, and the phaser moves it to the right and to the left. It does in a slow, very slow way, or in a fast way, producing a tremolo effect, tremolo with chorus. Both the intensity of the signal and the frequencies change, and the tonal character too, because when those phases are varying, there are spots where they cancel each other when they sum, or they reinforce each other. But your frequency spectrum has a lot of frequencies. It has low frequencies, mid frequencies and high frequencies. So parts of those frequencies get cancelled and parts get reinforced. And as the phases move from each other, they produce something similar to Doppler effect. The real acoustic Doppler effect is when the sound is moving. So when a sound source produces sound and it's still, it's stopped, only the sound is moving. So the wavefronts are some sort of uniform. wavefronts. But when the source moves, if it's moving to the same direction of the sound, those frequencies, those wavefronts get stretched, so the frequency, the perceived frequency gets higher. And when the source is moving away from the sound, those wavefronts, they get away from each other, so the perceived frequency is lower. That's what a real rotary speaker do. The real rotary speaker changes the position of the sound all the time, and so the wavefronts do something like this, and at the same time they get out of phase too, because with different directions you get different reflections, and the reflections get out of phase or in phase with each other. And also in the phaser pedal you have a speed control where you set if that frequency sweep, if it's low it does like this, and if it's fast it does very quickly, the tremolo effect. So you can change from a slow Just like the Rotovibe, the first phasers had an expression pedal to control the speed of the phaser. So the musician can set the phaser to a very slow speed and gradually accelerate that speed, simulating the ramp up from the laser speakers. So phasers were the first attempt to emulate a rotary speaker. As the phasers are swept, it gives that impression that wavefronts are getting closer or away from each other by the way that the crest of those waves move and get near from each other. How does a phaser speed control work? Inside the phaser there's a LFO or pulse modulator circuit, similar to a tremolo circuit, but unlike the tremolo, instead of controlling the volume intensity, it controls the input of a phase shift capacitor. There's a capacitor in there, so besides phase shifting, that thing does a little of a high pass filter too. So when the phases are swept, the frequencies of that high pass filter sweep together. Rotovibe is a 4-stage optical phaser. So what's the role of the optical thing? Where is it inside the pedal? The Rotovibe is based on the Univibe pedals. The original Univibes had a light bulb inside of it, and the speed controller would control the flashing light, the way the light flashes, and there were four photoresistors inside to capture that flashing light. And inside the Rotovibe, instead of a light bulb, it has 4 LEDs and 4 LDRs. The LDRs are light dependent resistors, and they are the sensors installed on the front of the phase controllers. So what do I think about a Rotovibe? It's one of my favorite pedals. It's one of the best phases I've ever seen, and I wouldn't trade it for another pedal. If I had to choose between a rotary speaker and the Rotovibe, I would prefer the rotary speaker, less speakers, for the rotary speaker effect. But for phaser effects, I cannot use rotary speakers to produce phaser, and this is a real good phaser. I have not much more to say about this body today. It weighs like a brick, but it definitely works much more. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please consider subscribing. Thanks for watching. Cheers.